We're diving into the fascinating world of the 2001 P Mint Mark Washington quarter-dollar coins. We'll explore their history, what makes them stand out, and why some of these coins could be worth millions of dollars. So, make sure you stick around, hit that like button, and let's get started. A vintage coin press working at a mint facility, followed by an image of the 2001 Washington quarter. First, let's talk about the history. The 2001 Washington quarter was released as part of the ongoing state quarters program, which started in 1999. The goal of this program was to honor each of the 50 U.S. states with its own unique quarter design. In 2001, 5 states were honored: New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Kentucky. Footage showing the 5 2001 state quarters designs with the year prominently featured the Philadelphia Mint, which is known for producing coins with the P Mint mark, struck these quarters with great attention to detail. These coins were part of a massive production run, but some rare and unique varieties exist that make them incredibly valuable to collectors today. High-definition close-up of the 2001 P Washington quarter, focusing on the mint mark and fine details. So, what makes the 2001 P Washington quarter so special? Well, most 2001 P quarters are quite common, with millions of them produced. However, there are certain key factors that can increase their value dramatically. First, we have to consider the condition of the coin. Quarters in mint state, meaning they have no wear and retain all of their original shine, are highly sought after. But there's more. Some rare 2001 P quarters feature errors, such as misstrikes or die cracks, which make them even more valuable. Examples of error coins with close-ups showing the damage or variation. One of the most exciting things about coin collecting is discovering rare error coins. The 2001 P Washington quarter is no exception. Some of these coins feature double die errors, where the design was struck more than once, causing a blurry or doubled image. These types of errors can lead to a significant increase in value. Additionally, certain 2001 P quarters have been discovered with a unique feature: a wide leaf variety on the reverse side. This happens when the design die used in the minting process was slightly altered, resulting in a wider leaf near the eagle. Coin collectors love these rarities, and they're worth thousands of dollars in high-grade condition. Display of coins with significant values, along with a chart showing auction prices. Now, here's the exciting part. A few select 2001 P quarters have been sold for millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, millions. One famous example is a 2001 P state quarter with an extremely rare error that sold at auction for over $5 million. This rare coin had a double die error so distinct that it became a collector's holy grail. Coins like these are outliers, but they show just how much a unique error or variation can boost a coin's value. While most 2001 P quarters are worth only face value, if you happen to find one with a rare error or in pristine condition, you could be holding a coin worth a small fortune. A step-by-step guide showing how to examine a quarter for errors. So, how can you identify if your 2001 P Washington quarter is worth more than just a quarter? Here are a few tips. First, inspect the coin carefully for any signs of doubling or other errors. Look closely at the date, mint mark, and the details of the design. Next, examine the coin for any unusual features like die cracks, off-center strikes, or unusual wear. These could be indicators of a rare coin. If your coin looks like it might be valuable, the best thing to do is get it professionally graded. This will give you a clear idea of its value and condition, helping you determine if it's worth sending to auction. To wrap things up, while the 2001 P Washington quarter might seem like just another common coin, there are rare and unique varieties out there that can fetch staggering prices. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keeping an eye out for these valuable coins could be a great way to grow your collection. We're exploring the 1999 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar, a coin that is not just important in history, but is also worth millions of dollars. So, let's get started. Let's rewind to 1999, a pivotal year in American history. The 1999 D Mint Mark Washington quarter was issued as part of a monumental series, the 50 State Quarters program. This program, which ran from 1999 to 2008, was a groundbreaking initiative by the U.S. Mint, where each state was represented by a unique quarter design. It was the first time in American coinage history that state designs were included in regular circulation quarters. Today, we're focusing on the 1999 D Mint Mark Washington quarter. This particular coin has a rich history, but what makes it truly exceptional is its rarity and the potential value it holds today. To understand the significance of the 1999 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, we need to take a closer look at the 50-state quarters program. In 1999, the U.S. Mint began striking quarters with designs representing each of the 50 states. The first 5 states were Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. Each quarter depicted a unique image of historical landmarks or symbols that were significant to the state. Show images of the 1999 state quarters. The 1999 D Mint mark stands for coins struck at the Denver Mint, one of the U.S. Mint's key facilities. As the program gained immense popularity, millions of these quarters were struck, circulating nationwide. But that's where things get interesting. Certain 1999 D quarters are becoming some of the most sought-after collectibles in the numismatic world. Now, let's talk about the real kicker. Why is the 1999 D Mint Mark Washington quarter worth millions of dollars? Well, the key factor lies in rarity and errors. While most 1999 D quarters are worth their face value, there are certain rare varieties and errors that can command extraordinary prices. Cut to close-up of a rare 1999 D Washington quarter with an error, for example. A 1999 D quarter with an extremely rare error, such as a double die or misstrike, can fetch prices in the tens of thousands of dollars. In some cases, these rare error coins have been auctioned off for over $1 million. First, check the mint mark. A properly struck D Mint mark should be clear and well-defined. Any blurriness or misplacement of the mint mark could be a sign of an error coin. Next, inspect the obverse, front, and reverse, back of the coin. Look for unusual doubling or misalignment. A double die coin will show a clear duplication of the design, especially noticeable in the letters and numbers. Additionally, there are certain varieties known to be rarer than others. The 1999 D Delaware quarter, for instance, is especially famous for some of its error coins. It's essential to check for these unique markings to determine the value of your coin. Now, let's get to the good stuff, the value. While most regular 1999 D Washington quarters are worth their face value, there are specific coins from this series that can bring in enormous returns. In 2005, a rare 1999 D quarter sold for $1.1 million at auction due to a rare minting error. And that's not the only example. Other rare 1999 D quarters, especially with double dies or other significant minting flaws, can fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you think you have a rare 1999 D quarter, it's time to do a little more research. Get it appraised by a professional or send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official grade and certification. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, here are a few tips to help you get the most out of your 1999 D Washington quarters. Use cotton gloves to avoid oils or dirt from your fingers damaging the surface. Store your coins properly in a cool, dry place in a safe or specialized coin holder to protect them from scratches and wear. Coin values change over time as the market fluctuates. So, there you have it, the fascinating history, rarity, and potential worth of the 1999 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. Whether it's the unique 50-state quarter series or the incredible rarities hidden within, these coins hold a special place in the world of numismatics. Keep your eyes peeled, because the next $1 million quarter could be sitting in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and how to spot the next big find, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to $1 Cons. And don't forget to leave a comment. Do you have a rare 1999 D quarter in your collection? Screen fades to black with end screen and subscription button. We're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in the Washington quarter series, the 1978 D Mint Mark Washington quarter. You might be surprised at how much these coins are worth, and some even go for millions of dollars. Before we get into the details of the 1978 D quarter, let's talk about its place in U.S. history. The Washington quarter dollar was first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. Over the years, the design remained largely unchanged, with only minor updates, such as the addition of the 50 states program in 1999. The 1978 D-Mint Mark Washington Quarter is part of the well-known Washington Quarter series. Produced by the Denver Mint, the D mark signifies that the coin was struck in Denver, Colorado. But what makes this particular quarter so special? And why is it worth so much to collectors? First, let's talk about the design. The obverse of the 1978 quarter features a portrait of George Washington, facing left, designed by John Flanagan. The reverse shows an eagle, standing proudly with its wings spread. But what sets the 1978 D apart isn't just the design. It's the rarity and the condition of certain coins from this year. Most 1978 D quarters are relatively easy to find, and they're worth their face value, just 25 cents. However, some are worth much more. The key to their value lies in the coin's condition and rarity. A well-preserved 1978 D quarter, graded MS-65 or higher, can fetch a few dollars. But what happens when we get to those coins that are even rarer? Here's where things get really interesting. Certain 1978 D quarters were struck with significant errors. For example, some quarters were misstruck with double dies, resulting in noticeable doubling on the date or letters. These error coins are far rarer and, as you might expect, far more valuable. Now let's talk big money. The rarest of these error coins can reach astronomical prices. A 1978 D quarter with a noticeable double die error can go for upwards of $10,000 or even more, depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. In fact, at some recent auctions, pristine examples of the 1978 D error coin have sold for over $100,000, with a few select specimens even approaching the $1 million mark. Now, not all 1978 D quarters will fetch these insane prices. But if you're lucky enough to come across a double die error or one that's in near-perfect condition, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Coins in mint state, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, are more valuable. Look for double dates or letters, off-center strikes, and other minting mistakes. If you think you've found something valuable, it's worth getting it professionally graded and certified. This will help you know exactly how much it's worth. Remember, just because a coin is old or looks unusual doesn't mean it's valuable. But with the 1978 D quarter, if you know what to look for, you could uncover a real treasure. That's it for today's deep dive into the 1978 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, remember to always keep an eye out for those rare finds. You never know when you might stumble upon a coin that's worth millions. We're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in the history of U.S. currency. The 1985 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin. Not only does this coin have an incredible history, but it could also be worth millions. Let's take a closer look at why this coin is so valuable and how you can identify it in your collection. The Washington quarter, first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, has been a staple of American currency ever since. But the 1985 D Mint Mark version is particularly interesting. Why? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and specific minting errors. Let's break down the coin's history. The 1985 Washington quarter was minted in Denver, marked with a D Mint mark, and produced as part of the regular circulation series. But, like all coins, the true value of a 1985 D Washington quarter lies in its unique attributes and condition. On the obverse, we see the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. And on the reverse, you have the eagle symbolizing strength and freedom, designed by John Sinek. These elements, while beautiful, don't make the 1985 D quarter particularly rare by themselves. So, what makes the 1985 D Washington quarter stand out? It all comes down to two factors: minting errors and high-grade specimens. Some of these quarters were minted with errors. A rare mistake could increase the coin's value dramatically. For example, double die errors or off-center strikes are highly sought after by collectors. These errors are often unnoticed by the general public, which makes them even more valuable when discovered. One of the most valuable 1985 D quarters on the market today has a double die error, where the images of Washington and the eagle are slightly duplicated. This rare mistake can push the value of a quarter from just a few dollars to thousands of dollars. But what if the coin is error-free? Well, high-grade specimens in excellent condition can also fetch top dollar. The key here is that coins graded at MS 67 or higher, that's mint state 67, are the ones that could be worth millions. These pristine coins are incredibly rare, and when they do pop up for auction, the bidding can get fierce. At auctions, high-grade 1985 D Washington quarters have sold for up to $500,000 or even more, depending on their condition. A coin in this condition can truly become a collector's holy grail, and its price reflects the immense demand. Looking at historical prices, we can see that the value of the 1985 D quarter has skyrocketed over the years. While it was once just a quarter worth around 25 cents, it's now recognized as a treasure for rare coin collectors. Now, you might be wondering, how can I find one of these million-dollar quarters? First, check your coin jars and change. Look for the D mint mark on the obverse, right under Washington's neck. Next, make sure to inspect it for any potential errors like doubling or off-center strikes. If you spot one, get it graded by a professional service. Trust me, it could be worth much more than you think. Grading is essential because it gives your coin an official value. Companies like PCGS or NGC can grade your coin based on its condition, helping to determine its market price. The better the grade, the higher the value. So, there you have it, the incredible history and potential value of the 1985 D Washington quarter. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare coins, you could be holding onto a treasure worth millions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more awesome coin tips and coin hunting stories. We're diving into a rare coin that could be worth a fortune in your collection. The 1983p Washington quarter-dollar coin. A coin with a fascinating history and a price tag that might surprise you. Stick around as we uncover the story, the value, and why some of these coins are worth millions. The 1983p Washington quarter is part of the iconic Washington quarter series, which was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. However, the 1983 issue marked an important moment in U.S. minting history. It was the first year the U.S. Mint released quarters with a P mint mark for the Philadelphia Mint. For decades, the Washington quarter was minted at the Denver and San Francisco mints, but the 1983p marks a shift towards a broader distribution. With the Philadelphia Mint's facilities ramping up their operations, this coin was made in large quantities. But that doesn't mean it's any less valuable today. So, what makes the 1983p quarter so special? You might think that since it's from a year with a high mintage, it wouldn't be worth much. But that's not the case, especially when you're talking about coins in mint condition or with specific rare attributes. Let's take a look at the typical value range for a 1983p Washington quarter. In general circulation, the 1983p Washington quarter is worth its face value of 25 cents. However, as with all coins, the value increases significantly when the coin is in exceptional condition, or if it has a rare feature that collectors are looking for. For example, a 1983p quarter in gem uncirculated condition can fetch around $10 to $15. It might seem modest, but hold on. The real surprise comes with coins that are in perfect condition or have an error. Some rare error versions of the 1983p Washington quarter can be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. You see, during the minting process, there are times when coins are produced with mistakes. These errors could include misstrikes, double dies, or unique wear patterns that make the coin stand out from the rest. For example, a double die obverse, DDO, error on a 1983p quarter, where the image of George Washington's face is noticeably doubled, could send collectors into a bidding war. The coin could be valued anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, depending on the condition and the rarity of the error. And here's where it gets even more exciting. Some of the finest examples of this coin, particularly those with unique errors, have sold for hundreds of thousands, and in extreme cases, millions of dollars at auction. For example, a specimen with a flawless double die error could be sought after by top-tier collectors who are looking for that perfect addition to their collection. But why are some of these coins worth so much? Well, collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are rarer, in better condition, or feature unique minting flaws. The 1983p Washington quarter stands out because of its potential for these specific characteristics. It's not just about the coin's design or history, it's about the scarcity, the error, and the demand among coin enthusiasts. So, if you happen to have a 1983p Washington quarter in your collection, make sure to inspect it closely. Look for any unique errors or signs of wear that might set it apart from other coins. If it's in pristine condition, or if you think it could have an error, don't hesitate to get it appraised. You might just have a coin worth a small fortune on your hands. And remember, the coin collecting world is constantly changing. Coins that were once considered common can suddenly rise in value as more collectors discover them. So always stay on top of the trends and keep an eye out for these rare and valuable gems. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1971 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin, exploring its history, value, and the shocking truth about why it could be worth millions. Let's get started. The Washington quarter, first released in 1932, has been a staple in American coinage. But the 1971 D Mint Mark Washington quarter stands out for several reasons. This coin was minted during a unique time in U.S. history, right after the coinage changes of the 1960s. By the early 70s, the U.S. was facing inflation, and coins like the Washington quarter were produced in much larger quantities than earlier years. In 1971, the U.S. Mint produced over 600 million quarters, with the D Mint, Denver, responsible for a significant portion. The coin itself features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, while the reverse showcases an eagle with outstretched wings. A classic piece of American currency, right? Now, most 1971 D Washington quarters are pretty standard, with a mintage of over 600 million. However, the key to understanding why some of these coins are worth millions lies in their rarity and condition. There's a small group of these quarters that are considered extremely rare, often due to mint errors or unique characteristics that make them stand out in the collector's market. One of the most sought-after features is the double die error, which occurs when the coin is struck with a misaligned die, resulting in doubled features on the coin's design. So, what makes these 1971 D Mint Mark quarters worth millions? It's all about the condition and any unique errors that might occur during production. In particular, the double die 1971 D quarter can be worth a small fortune. In perfect condition, some of these rare pieces have been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars. And in extremely rare cases, a 1971 D quarter with significant minting errors or in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch upwards of $1 million at auction. Can you believe it? A quarter that you could find in your change could potentially be a gold mine. Now, you're probably wondering how to spot one of these rare and valuable 1971 D quarters. Let's break it down. Make sure it's a D Mint mark. That's the Denver Mint, which is where these special coins were produced. The most significant error you'll want to look for is the double die error. Check for signs of doubling in the inscriptions or details, particularly on the date and lettering. Coins in mint condition with minimal wear are far more valuable. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to assess the fine details. If you think you've found a rare 1971 D quarter, what should you do next? Well, the best route is to have it professionally authenticated by a reputable grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Once authenticated, you can consider selling it at an auction house, through specialized coin dealers, or even online. That's it for today's deep dive into the 1971 D Mint Mark Washington quarter. Who knew that a simple quarter could be worth so much? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more rare coin discoveries. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin yourself, or if you're on the hunt for one of these rare quarters. We're going to explore one of the most exciting coins to ever come from the U.S. Mint, the 1994 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter. Yes, this coin is more than just pocket change. Some of these quarters are worth millions of dollars. Sounds unbelievable? Well, stick with me as we dive into its history, the factors that make it so valuable, and how you can identify one of these rare quarters. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the history. The 1994 D Mint Mark Washington quarter is part of the famous Washington quarter series, which has been in circulation since 1932. The 1994 quarter is a regular issue coin, struck by the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark on the reverse side. This coin was part of a larger series featuring George Washington, and it was released as part of the series commemorating Washington's legacy. The design on the coin has remained mostly the same over the years, with Washington's portrait on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, with the inscription E Pluribus Unum. So, why is the 1994 D Mint Mark Washington quarter so special? Well, like many rare coins, there are a few key factors that can make certain quarters stand out from the rest. It all comes down to the following. Minting errors. Some 1994 D quarters were struck with minting errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These errors can make a quarter incredibly valuable to collectors. For example, a 1994 D quarter with a double die or misaligned die could be worth thousands of dollars or more. A regular 1994 D Washington quarter in mint state can be worth a bit more than face value. But when it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially one with a grade of MS 67 or higher, it can fetch significant amounts at auction. There have been rumors of special varieties with very low mintage numbers, though no official statistics show this. However, these rare findings make certain 1994 D quarters prized possessions among collectors. Let's not forget that the coin's value also depends on the collector's market and demand, which fluctuates from year to year. Now, here comes the most exciting part, the value. A standard 1994 D Mint Mark Washington quarter is worth only 25 cents in average condition, but in mint condition or if it has a rare minting error, the value these are typically worth around 25 cents. These can be worth anywhere between $5 and $50 depending on their condition. In perfect mint condition, these coins can be worth hundreds to even thousands of dollars. Now, this is where things get crazy. If you're lucky enough to find a 1994 D quarter with a rare error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Coins with major errors can easily go for $10,000 or more, with the rarest examples reaching into the millions at auction. If you happen to have a 1994 D Washington quarter that has been graded highly or contains a minting error, you could be holding a coin that might one day go for a hefty price tag. But how do you know if your coin is worth all that money? So, how can you tell if your 1994 D Washington quarter is one of these valuable gems? Here's what you need to look for. Minting errors. Carefully inspect the coin for any signs of double die errors, such as doubling of the numbers or letters. Also, check for off-center strikes, die cracks, or any other irregularities. A magnifying glass or coin viewer will help you spot these subtle features. Get your coin graded by a professional if you think it's in great condition. Higher grade coins, especially those in uncirculated state, have the potential for higher value. Look for coins with sharp details, no visible wear, and minimal scratching. Consult a coin dealer or appraiser. If you're unsure, it's always a good idea to have your coin examined by a professional. They can help you understand its true value and whether it's worth submitting for grading. To wrap things up, the 1994 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar may seem like just another coin, but with its rich history, rare minting errors, and potential for incredible value, it's a collector's dream. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting, keep an eye out for these valuable quarters. Who knows? You might just have $1 million coin hidden in your collection. We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing coins in U.S. history, the 1965 no-mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. You may have heard rumors that some of these coins could be worth millions. So what's the real story? Let's uncover the history, the mystery, and the potential value of this rare coin. Stay tuned. The year 1965 marked a significant turning point for the U.S. Mint. For the first time since the Civil War, the U.S. Mint decided to eliminate mint marks from all circulating coins. This decision was made as a response to a national coin shortage and the rising cost of silver. But there's more to the 1965 Washington quarter story. Unlike other coins produced in 1965, a small number of Washington quarters from that year were struck without any mint mark. So, Why does this matter? Normally, every quarter is stamped with a mint mark indicating where it was produced: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, or the San Francisco Mint. However, due to a mistake or possibly a rare oversight, a handful of 1965 Washington quarters were struck at the Philadelphia Mint without the expected D or S mint marks. And that's what makes these coins so special. Now, let's talk about the value. Most 1965 Washington quarters are fairly common and worth only a few dollars, but the no mint mark variety is a completely different story. These rare quarters are sought after by collectors because of their unique features. The value of a 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter depends heavily on its condition. A coin in good condition might fetch a modest price, but coins in mint state, meaning they're virtually flawless, can command much higher prices. Some of these coins have been known to sell for hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars at auction, especially if they have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. However, if you're lucky enough to find a perfectly graded 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter, its value could soar into the millions, depending on market demand and the rarity of your specific coin. So, what exactly makes these quarters worth millions? Well, it's all about their rarity and condition. With fewer than 50 known specimens of the 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter, they're extremely rare in uncirculated conditions. When you factor in the growing interest in rare coins, especially from collectors and investors looking to diversify their portfolios, the price of these coins has skyrocketed. In fact, in recent years, certain specimens have been sold at auctions for prices ranging between $10,000 and $20,000. But the truly mint condition ones? Those could potentially fetch millions of dollars. Let's quickly go over how to identify a 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter. It looks almost identical to its mint-marked counterparts, but remember, there's no D or S stamped on the reverse side. Check the date carefully. If it's a 1965 quarter, and there's no mint mark, you may have found something truly special. To sum it up, the 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter is one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. numismatic history. Its rarity, its connection to a pivotal time in coinage history, and its potential to fetch astronomical prices make it a prized possession for collectors around the world. So, if you're lucky enough to stumble upon one of these coins, or if you already own one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Be sure to have your coins professionally appraised to get the true value. And, as always, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more rare coin content. We're diving into the history, value, and the fascinating journey of the 1976 D Washington quarter dollar coin. Yes, you heard that right. Some of these quarters are worth millions of dollars. If you're ready to learn more about this iconic coin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on future coin tips and valuable insights. Cut to the host holding a 1976 D Washington quarter. Let's get started with the history of this quarter, which holds a lot more than just its face value. Images of the 1976 bicentennial Washington quarter alongside images of George Washington's portrait. The 1976 D Washington quarter was released as part of the United States bicentennial celebration, marking 200 years since the Declaration of Independence in 1776. This was a very special year, not just for the quarter, but for the entire U.S. Mint. The coin features an updated reverse design to celebrate the bicentennial, with a depiction of the colonial drummer. You might notice this coin is a little different from your standard Washington quarter. The reverse side of the 1976 coin was changed for the first time in history to reflect the bicentennial event, while George Washington's iconic portrait remained the same on the obverse side. A close-up shot of several 1976 D quarters next to a price tag. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1976 D Washington quarter. The coin was minted in Denver with the D mint mark, and millions of these quarters were produced, over 800 million in fact, so they aren't rare in terms of quantity. However, just because there are a lot of them doesn't mean they're all worth the same. Most of the 1976 D quarters you find in circulation today are worth just their face value, 25 cents. But here's where things get interesting. A zoom in on a pristine 1976D quarter with high-grade details. There are specific 1976D Washington quarters that are worth far more than just a few bucks, and some could even fetch millions. The key factors that can make a 1976D quarter worth millions include its rarity, condition, and whether it's a special era coin. First off, coins in mint condition are highly sought after by collectors. If you have a 1976D Washington quarter that is in near-perfect condition, it could be worth a lot more than you think, especially if it's graded as MS67 or higher by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Secondly, some 1976D Washington quarters have been known to have rare errors, which can drastically increase their value. For example, if the coin has double strikes, off-center strikes, or other unique minting mistakes, collectors will pay a premium for these rarities. But the real million-dollar coins come from proof sets, coins that were struck with higher quality dies and meant for collectors. A perfect proof version of the 1976D quarter could potentially reach staggering prices at auction, especially if it has unique characteristics or error features. A magnifying glass focusing on the coin's details. Now that you know what to look for, how can you identify a high-value 1976D Washington quarter in your collection? Let's break it down. Inspect the condition. Coins graded at MS67 or higher are extremely rare and highly valuable. The higher the grade, the higher the price. Look for error coins. Pay attention to features like double strikes or off-center mintings. These errors can make your coin a rare gem. Check if it's part of a proof set. Proof coins often have a sharper design and mirror-like finish, making them highly desirable for serious collectors. Footage of a coin auction with people bidding. So, what are some of the record-breaking auction results for the 1976D Washington quarter? Well, we've seen proof quarters, especially those with unique errors, sell for tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands at auction. One of the highest-selling 1976D quarters ever was a special proof coin that reached nearly $500,000. That's right, a single quarter worth over $500,000. So, if you think you've found a rare gem in your collection, it could be worth a fortune. To wrap it up, while the 1976D Washington quarter may seem like just another coin, some of them are worth far more than you can imagine. Whether it's in pristine condition, part of a proof set, or an error coin, there's a chance you've got something that could be worth a lot of money. Background music fades in softly. Make sure to check your coin collections, and don't forget to get any high-value pieces professionally graded. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with your fellow collectors, and leave a comment below if you've ever come across a rare coin like the 1976D Washington quarter. We've got something truly special for you. The 1991 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coins. These quarters may look like your everyday pocket change, but they're hiding some incredible history, value, and, believe it or not, potential worth of millions of dollars. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our awesome coin content. Now, let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1991 P Washington quarter. First, let's take a quick look back in time. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, honoring the first president of the United States, George Washington. The 1991 P Mint mark, minted in Philadelphia, marks a continuation of this iconic design. In 1991, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these quarters to circulate across the country. But what sets the 1991 P apart is the unique story it tells. With the 1991 quarter, the design remained largely unchanged from previous years. However, it's the rarity and condition of these coins that can make them incredibly valuable today. Before we get into the coin's value, let's talk about the minting process. The P Mint mark, which stands for Philadelphia, is typically found on quarters that were struck at this famous mint. While the majority of 1991 P quarters were released into circulation, a small portion of them possess rare and unique characteristics that make them standout collectibles. So, what makes the 1991 P Washington quarter worth millions? Well, there are a few key factors that influence the value of this coin. First up, condition. As with all coins, the higher the quality, the more valuable it becomes. Most 1991 P quarters you'll come across are in circulation and are worth their face value of 25 cents. But if you happen to find one in pristine condition, or better yet, one that has never been circulated, the value can increase significantly. Some collectors look for quarters that are in gem uncirculated condition, which means they have no signs of wear or damage. A 1991 P Washington quarter in MS65 or higher can be worth between $15 and $50. But here's where it gets really interesting. If you find a proof-like or deep cameo version, those can be worth upwards of $500 or more, depending on demand and condition. But hold on to your hats, because there's more. What if I told you that a 1991 P Washington quarter with a rare error or unique characteristic could be worth millions? That's right. Now, we enter the territory of rare error coins, which is where things get really exciting. Some of the 1991 P quarters have been found with minting mistakes or unusual features that make them exceptionally valuable to collectors. One of the most coveted varieties is the double die error, where the design of the coin is stamped more than once, leading to a doubled image. These errors can make a coin extremely valuable. If you find a 1991 P quarter with a double die, it could fetch prices ranging from $5,000 to over $1 million, depending on the severity of the error and its overall condition. Another rare feature to look for is the repunched mint mark. This occurs when the mint mark is struck more than once, creating a subtle yet noticeable error. This rare mint mark variety can also increase the value of a 1991 P quarter to several $1,000s. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do you find these valuable 1991 P quarters? Well, here are some tips on how to spot one that could be worth a fortune. Look for coins with minimal wear. The less damage, the higher the value. Look carefully for any signs of error, such as a double die or a repunched mint mark. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to get a look for any signs of damage, wear, or unusual characteristics. A coin in near-perfect condition could be worth a lot more. And if you ever come across a quarter that you think might be worth something special, don't hesitate to get it appraised by a professional. You could have a true gem on your hands. So, there you have it. The 1991 P Washington quarter might seem like an ordinary coin, but with the right condition and rare features, it could be worth a small fortune. Whether it's the proof-like versions, the error varieties, or simply a coin in mint condition, there's so much potential in these quarters. If you're a collector, always keep an eye out for these little treasures. You never know what might turn up in your pocket change. And remember, coin collecting isn't just about finding valuable coins. It's about appreciating the history and the stories they tell. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1979 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. If you thought this coin was just another common piece, think again. You might be holding a hidden treasure worth millions. Let's take a look at its history, value, and what makes it so special. Cut to close-up of the coin spinning on a table. The 1979 Washington quarter was part of the ongoing series first introduced in 1932, designed by John Flanagan. The Washington quarter is named after the first president of the United States, George Washington, and has been a staple in U.S. currency ever since. By the time 1979 rolled around, the mint had a well-established process for producing quarters. What sets the 1979 D Mint Mark quarter apart is its distinct features and the impact of its production year. The D stands for the Denver Mint, which produced these quarters alongside the Philadelphia Mint. In 1979, over 600 million Washington quarters were produced, but many have been lost or damaged over time, making well-preserved examples rare. Cut to detailed close-up shots of the 1979 D quarter. So, how can you tell if you have a 1979 D Mint Mark Washington quarter? It's actually pretty simple. Just flip the coin over to the reverse side, and you'll find a small D Mint mark located just beneath the eagle. This marks it as being minted in Denver as opposed to Philadelphia or San Francisco. Now, the 1979 quarter might look like any other to the untrained eye, but it's the condition of the coin and specific variations that can make a significant difference in value. Cut to shots of a stack of quarters and a magnifying glass focusing on details at face value. A 1979 D Washington quarter is worth, well, 25 cents. However, that's where things get interesting. A standard circulated 1979 D quarter can be found for around $3 to $6, depending on its condition. But here's where the value jumps up. Coins that are in exceptional condition can fetch far more. For example, uncirculated coins, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can easily go for $15 to $50 or more at auction. But the real treasure lies in a special variant of this coin that few collectors know about, the 1979D double die obverse. Cut to close-up of a 1979D double die obverse coin. Showing the doubled lettering, the 1979D double die obverse is one of the most famous varieties of this quarter. What makes it so special is that, during the minting process, the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, causing the image to be imprinted twice. The result? A noticeable doubling effect on the lettering, particularly on Liberty and In God We Trust. Coins with this double die are incredibly rare, and they can be worth a fortune. In some cases, a well-preserved 1979D double die obverse has been known to sell for as much as $10,000 to $30,000. Even more flawless specimens can exceed that price, especially at high-end auctions where collectors are eager to get their hands on these rarities. Cut to shots of high-end auction prices and rare coin sales, but hold on, you might be wondering, why are some of these coins worth millions? Well, the 1979D double die obverse is a classic example of a coin that becomes highly valuable when a specific error, rarity, and demand align. The more people want them, the higher the price goes. There are coins out there that have sold for staggering amounts in the right conditions. A particularly well-preserved, high-graded 1979D double die obverse can push the $1 million mark when it's sold to a serious collector or in a prestigious auction. That's how rare and valuable these coins are in top-notch condition. Cut to shots of the host inspecting a coin with a magnifying glass. Now, if you're lucky enough to have a 1979D quarter in your collection, it's worth taking the time to carefully inspect it. Look for the double die details on the obverse, and check the condition of the coin. If it's in pristine condition or shows signs of the double strike, it could be time to get it professionally graded. You can send your coin to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC to get a certified grade, which will give you a better idea of its value. Once graded, you can also explore selling it through coin dealers, online auction sites, or specialized numismatic events. Upbeat music playing again. That's it for today's deep dive into the 1979D Mint Mark Washington quarter. Who knew that a simple quarter could hold so much history and potential value, right? So, if you have one of these in your collection, don't just throw it in your coin jar. Take a closer look, and you might be sitting on a small fortune. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos about rare coins and their amazing histories.